Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to go through another question that I received in the network. And this question came from a gentleman asking me, hi there, me and my co-founder are currently trying to organize our contact list. And we want to make sure that when we build out a GoHighLevel calendar, we can decide whose calendar it's going to be booked into to determine who's going to take the meeting. Okay, so that's actually a really simple way to set up a calendar. I've actually got one here that I can demonstrate for you as well, right? So when you come into calendars, you want to click create new calendar and you want to do a round robin calendar. Okay, so this is what we have down here. So this is the alliance call. So this is our main introduction call. So green just symbolizes that that's the calendar that we're using today. Obviously, we've got it filled out with just a quick description of what this actually call will cover. So again, just use ChatGPT to fill that out. Group, leave empty because that's just to determine how to do calendar groups and things like that. You can overlook that. Your URL, just make it something applicable to your calendar. This is where it kind of gets interesting, right? So your meeting invite title. So that is what's going to look. That's going to be what appears on the meeting title when a customer receives it, right? So I've booked in a meeting with Alliance XP. I get an email sent to me via Google Meets. And the contact title has to be relevant to what we're talking about, right? So here we have my name, we have the appointment, we have then the appointment user. So for example, you can see here, select team members are assigned location. We have two gentlemen here working this calendar. So we've got Luke and Jakob, right? So depending on who takes the meeting, this contact field will be filled in depending on who takes that, right? So again, you can just get these all through these little drop downs on the right. So then obviously we've got our main offer, right? So junk removal, new high ticket items, jobs. So basically this is where it kind of organizes the question for you, specifically in terms of how do I create distribution. I would always go down to availability, okay? Because this, I'll show you why in a second. But equal distribution basically means like if 10 meetings are booked, both of you are going to get five. Pretty self-explanatory. So always optimize for availability. And then what you need to do is you just need to select all of your team members that are able to take sales calls and utilize this calendar. And then you will have them link up here as well. So we have Luke as our primary. So we've got him as high priority using Google Meet. And then we've got Jakob as low priority on Google Meet. So he's like our secondary option, right? So availability, calendar. You can change the calendar's availability. However, what we specifically do is do a open calendar, so 24 hours, but then we have our teammates individually set their time schedules, right? So I'll jump into that in a moment. But these are our settings that we've got for the actual calendar. So 30-minute time slots. We allow them to book 2 days in advance. We're allowing one maximum booking. And when we get a little bit busy, sometimes we add a post buffer time. So like 15, 30 minutes. That just allows you to have meetings overrun, right? So if it gets to the point where a meeting is running over, then have a buffer time because then it allows you to kind of claw that back and not leave a client waiting. So you can kind of just set up this page, this forms and payments, depending on your situation. This is where you can also add a meta pixel for your Facebook tracking. So like, for example, when a meeting is booked, you want this pixel to send a notification back to Facebook and syncing all of that up, right? So again, just go through here, have a look into different like notifications that you kind of need. And then customizations is just like calendar images and things like that, right? So two things specifically needed for this kind of calendar setup is you need your two sales members, three sales members, whatever it is, to go log in as an individual and go to my profile. They will need to link their Google Calendar. So we have shown that in a previous video. So you come to calendar settings, add new, Google Calendar and Google Meet. Get both of your, get whoever's on the calendars to sort that out. And then another thing, you need to set your availability, right? So if you continue scrolling down, you can then set your individual availability, and then that will allow you to kind of monitor and use the calendar effectively, right? So if one of you is available, then it will book them, and then if the other person's unavailable, it will go to the next person, right? So It's a bit of a minefield looking for our meeting notifications, but let me see if I can try and find it. Junk removal, outbound reminders. So that's in. There's a lot of stuff that go on here. So like this, we'll take this one for example. We're not using this one currently, but this is still a good example. So it's just exactly that, right? So whether a meeting has been booked or a customer appointment is in the calendar or a pipeline stage, we're just updating the pipeline with a create or update opportunity. And then obviously we're going to pull in the notifications messages that goes to us, right? So we're going to have a look, name, email, phone, and where they came from, when the appointment is, and who to speak to, right? So that is literally as easy as it can be to set up a calendar. The main important thing is just, make sure that you get your availability sorted. So then you're not going to have any kind of issues running in with the calendar. But yeah, should be ready to rock and roll.